It is Friday, June 12th. I hope you enjoyed the video that I did before the open this morning. If you did, please leave comments. Let me know that you like this. I'll also try and do another video during the course of the day. I'm trying to figure out how to make the YouTube channel work for all of us. So please leave your comments. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. If possible, I'll try and do 2 videos a day. I'm not sure that I'll be able to pull that off or not, but we'll give it a try. The market right now is trying to bounce after a huge day of selling yesterday. But if you watched my video this morning, which incidentally, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. It's not something that I normally do, but there's not urgency to me watching fishing videos or the other content that I like. But when it comes to trading, there is urgency because every one of these videos has an actionable trade in it. So I want you to get that information right away, and the notifications that you can sign up for on YouTube will tell you when there's a new video posted so you can jump on that trade. And I had one this morning. We're going to take a look at it. But anyway, the market this morning was selling off. And you can see this drop right here from the opening. And I mentioned this in my early morning video. I said, look, folks, we've got a nice pop. That's a 50-point S&P 500 move right on the open today. It's not going to last. We have to test the bid. Well, how the heck could Pete know that? How could he possibly know that? I know that because when you have selling pressure like this yesterday, where you've got the market drifting, drifting, drifting lower, one tiny little bounce in here and then whap, 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 smack it right back down again. What that tells me is that sellers are the aggressors. Any bid that's out there, they try and get something going right here. Bam, they smack it right away. How many more you got? How many more you got? I'll just keep nailing every bid the whole day until you get a beautiful, nice, tight trading channel like this all day long, selling pressure. Now, I tried to play a bounce very, very late in the day, and I scratched my S&P trade. I also was long some Tesla because I saw some relative strength. I was just waiting for that market rally. And so I got long in here. I was able to scratch the trade right there on that long green bar, and I didn't hesitate because I expected to see a lot better price action than this yesterday. But we got the release this morning on the open. Typically, when you've got price action like this, you will see some short covering, you will see a rally into the close, and that is a high probability trade that I've been doing for years. Didn't get it yesterday. So that told me that the selling pressure was super, super heavy and that the market would not be able to hold the opening gains. If you watched my video before the open and you faded this move, as soon as the low of the day right there was taken out, you made money, and you made good money. I made good money because I had my 1OP indicator right there with a bearish cross. So we had the indicator drifting lower and lower. As soon as we took out that low, I grabbed about 17 S&P 500 points, and it gets even better because down here you can see how we had this super, super deep trough in the 1OP indicator. This is a proprietary indicator. It's something that took me 10 years to develop. You won't find it anywhere else. You can try and correlate it to all the other indicators you've ever used. It won't happen because it uses completely different criteria that I had to develop myself. All the data is on my own servers. So this is truly unique to one option, and it is what we use to time our entry and exit on all of our day trades. It tells us when we should be taking profits on shorts. As we started to get down here, we could see that this indicator was getting super extended and we were taking profits on our short positions. We weren't getting long yet because we wanted to see this downward sloping trend line on the M5 basis breached on the upside. So we had one test, two tests. We were able to find support right here around the 300 level, which also happened to coincide with the 200-day moving average. That was a major, major significant support level. I figured we would bounce, but didn't want to get long until I saw us get through this little resistance here and this downward sloping trend line. I made another 20 points on the S&P 500 on the upside. So let's see what we're currently doing right now. We had this little peak right up in here and a long red candle. We're getting a little bit of follow through. And look at this. We had another 1OP cross. So we get long in here. Where did this indicator tell us to get long? Did it tell us to get long here? Did it tell us to get long here? Here? No. It is predictive, and that's why it's so dang powerful. So it told us to get long in here. Now we had to wait for technical confirmation. As soon as we got that technical confirmation, we got in and we noticed that it had a huge spike and it was getting overextended. Okay, time to take profits on long positions. Is it time to get short yet? No. We still have this upward sloping trend line right in here. We've got a little bit of a compression right in here. This is where you would want to start getting short right on that breakdown right in there. Plus you give up this long green candle that opened. So yeah, you'd have a nice little shorting opportunity in here. You've got a tail above body. Looks like we're going to keep floating lower. So I'm going to keep this running in the background so that you can watch it. Now I'm going to show you what happens when you get a really strong trend day. This is how we interpret the 1OP indicator. So about 80% of the time, whatever it's signaling, you want to be joining it. But there are times when you get a super strong trend and you get something called a divergence. And here's a divergence. So we had this compression yesterday on the open. Market gaps down. It cannot rally into that gap. There are too many sellers. So what that tells me is that on this rally right here on the 1OP indicator, this would normally spark a nice rally into that gap. Didn't happen. That's what we call a bearish divergence. Indicator going up, compression. That tells me that the selling pressure is super heavy. This next cross right here is going to be a really good one, and that was a great place to enter. So, okay, here we go. Got this big dip. Should probably be taking profits on this dip in here. Everything is compressing nicely. Okay, take profits on your short position. And now we start to watch. Indicator moving higher. Market's starting to drift lower. This is another bearish divergence. So we get these divergences when there's a super strong market trend. And so we know when we should be watching for these divergences. And what they do is actually confirm the strength of that trend. So now we've got the 1OP indicator moving higher with the market moving lower. That tells me you want to be short. You want to stay with that short. So look at that whole nice big rally in that indicator, but the market still preserves its downward sloping trend line. And obviously this bearish cross right here is one that you want to be on. Sells off the entire day. This indicator is the best thing ever. It's the only thing that I use for my day trading on the futures. Now today, since we had really nice price movement in the futures, I wanted to trade the futures. Had great price movement yesterday, great price movement today. So I am going to favor trading the S&P 500 futures. But normally what we do is the market's not going to normally make these gigantic intraday moves. You might have a 20 or a 30 point S&P move, and those moves are a little bit more difficult to trade, not because of the indicator, but just because the price action is very choppy and we have to predict exactly what the market's going to be doing. Now, the alternative is for us to find stocks with fantastic relative strength, and when we get a market sell-off like this, and it starts to bottom, and we start getting an indication that we might be looking at a buy here, this is when you want to be looking at your stocks that have relative strength, and we use the searches in Option Stalker to find the best stocks. So you're long these stocks and the market starts to rally. Uh-oh, we're getting a little bit overextended. This is when we want to take profits on those long positions. And if we get the technical breakdown, we want to be shifting gears and looking for stocks with relative weakness. And so then we start to short them and we stay with the position as long as we can, as long as the market's continuing to come down and it hasn't gone back above the downward sloping trend line, which I would draw about like that. Let's draw it in so you can take a look. I'm going to use that high there. Use that high there. You can see this downward sloping trend line. As long as that's intact, as long as I have this indicator moving lower, I'm going to favor the short side. And these stocks with relative weakness will be able to shoulder any kind of bounce because there are natural sellers. They are weak relative to the market. So you have greater staying power by trading the underlying stocks. Now, I know a lot of you love to trade futures. Everybody loves to trade futures. It's like crack cocaine. People can't get off of trading the futures. But I got to tell you, that's where the big boys play. and they're making huge swings and huge moves. You're vulnerable to all sorts of program trading. I can tell you that trading stocks provides me with an incredible edge. Okay, I'm going to show you an example right now. So let's say that right here, I thought that the market was going to go higher, 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 and I weren't using this indicator. I just thought it was going to go higher. If I picked the right stock, I could actually make money even though I was wrong on the market. But if I'm trading futures, I'm just flat out going to lose money, and I could lose a lot of money. And that's the cushion that we try and play every single day. And that's why the stocks that I highlight in my videos are so successful, because I'm using this exact same principle. So let's go in and take a look at a stock that I found, and we'll take a look for some stocks. I'll show you how easy this is to do. INO is one that I got long just before I started the video, and should be able to take some profits in here. Actually, I hit my target profit already. So here's a prime example. Stock has great relative strength. It was coming up on the search. Looky right here. This is on a search called Bull Run. If I click through this list, you're going to see some really strong stocks. So let's click through it. These stocks are able to defy gravity. The bid is so dang strong that when the market is falling, they are going higher. So if I'm playing a market bounce, which we're not ready to yet because this indicator is still heading down, but if I wanted to play a market bounce and I got long a stock like this and the market continued to head down, I'm going to have plenty of time to evaluate the position and get out of the stock. And if I'm right and I do get that market bounce, rocket fuel, see ya. Put your target out there, you'll get ripped out of that target very easily. That's how you consistently make money day trading. The only difference between day trading and swing trading is your time horizon. Instead of using 5-minute charts, you're using daily charts, but you're still looking for all the same types of technical support and resistance, be they trend lines, major moving averages, price patterns, whatever it is. So this same thing works equally well for swing trades. So let's go through and let's find a few stocks. Let's make sure that we want to be on the long side first of all, okay? So, big market sell-off, okay? We have another retest, and we have a successful retest. Right now, we've got some weakness right in here. We need to make sure that this weakness does not come down and test the support level and break below it, because then we would have some additional selling into the closing bell today. That would not be good, because if we take out SPY 300, we're probably going to take out SPY 295. That's the next major support level where we've got the 100-day moving average. So let's put it up. Testing the 200-day moving average, we've got horizontal support right here, and we have the 100-day moving average at SPY 295 roughly. We closed below this 300 level today. We're going to be testing that early next week. I think we still might test it. I want to see really nice support. I want to see that support confirmed, and then I will look to sell some out of the money bullish put spreads. This is the pullback that I've been waiting for. So for today, I think that this support is going to hold going into the weekend. We've had a couple of tests of it, and this could be a higher low that is forming. There's your low, there's your higher low. We've got our downward sloping trend line right here. So how do I know? Pete, how do I know? What am I looking for today? If you're day trading, you don't want to get long until this downward sloping trend line has been breached and until we have a nice 1OP cross. Then you want to be looking for some trades that you can buy on the notion that we might get a little bit of a positive push higher into the weekend. One test, two test of that major support level, higher low. Those are all nice positive things to lean on. So we would get that release to the upside, and we would want to find some nice stocks. Well, I already showed you INO, probably my favorite one right now. Not much to look at on a daily chart, but you can see a wedge formation, downward sloping trend line here. I can draw that up for you. And I click here on the alert line. These are alert lines, by the way, extremely useful tool. One of the best things I ever developed, because it has helped me incredibly. We can draw there, or we can actually draw another one right here that I think is more appropriate, and you can see that wedge formation right in here. The stock really needs to break above that for me to want to get in, but you can see This is kind of a flyer. It's a strong stock. So I don't know about holding it over the weekend, and we just breached above it. But for a day trade, you betcha it looks good. Look at that baby go. So GSX, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at the top stocks. See how easy that is? All I did was went into one of our canned searches, bull run. Look at these stocks. That is a gorgeous looking formation. Gets through the high of the day, long green candles, running higher. Let's put up the 1 OSI indicator. This is what shows us relative strength and weakness. Orange line above zero. Yep, lots of relative strength on that one. Okay, let's go in. The airlines are doing well today. UAL, you can see how it's creeping higher. Twitter, catching a little bit of a bid. Nothing too exciting there for me. This looks interesting. CLF. You can see how it's through the high of the day right here. Nice little candle trying to poke through. Don't know that this is the real deal. I do like the fact that the market has been going down and it's been able to compress and hold the gain so far, so it might release and go to the upside. That's how we find them. Let's run another search. You'll like this one. Super, super easy. All of this is documented in the option stalker manual. So we're going to go and we're going to run our own custom search. All right, so let's take a look. Let's get into a stock that's got some decent option liquidity. I'll put in a value of 0 to 15. So we know the stock's got good option liquidity, and we want a stock that's above the prior day high. Okay, cast a wide net, then draw it closer. Lots of symbols to knock through. I don't want to go through that many symbols, so let's find a stock that's got high volume, heavy volume today. Okay, awesome. So now these stocks have heavy volume relative to their normal volume. Still a pretty long list here. All right, well, let's find a stock that's got ADX bullish on a 15-minute basis. Ooh, that narrowed the results down quite a bit. Let's take a look at QDEL and see what that's doing. Hey, not too shabby. Look at this. We're through the prior day's high. I like that. And you can see that the stock has really good volume in here. A little bit of relative weakness, but I like that bullish hammer right in there. So, yes, I would want to keep an eye on this, and I'd want to keep an eye on the market. That's why I have the SPY running in a separate chart behind my primary chart in Option Stalker so that I can always compare the two prices. That's how I do it. I may set an alert on this. I'm not going to be super anxious. We'll just set an alert there. How did I do that? I clicked alert, and on the top of that candle, I double clicked. That draws a horizontal line. If I wanted to draw a a diagonal line, then I would click alert. I would pick a low on a candle like that one, and I'd pick a low on a candle like that one, and now I've got a diagonal upward sloping alert line. Super easy to use. If I click alert, it's good for the day. If I click GTC, these alerts will stay up there forever. If you're a swing trader, that's exactly what you want to do, because you can look at a chart most of the time and know, hey, if that stock penetrates that price point, boy, would I like to know about it. Well, drop that GTC alert line, and then when you log into Option Stalker, you'll have an alert right in the middle of the screen. So let's continue with this. This is custom search. Let's keep looking for stocks. Let's take that ADX off for the 15-minute basis. Let's go to a 5-minute basis, see what that does. And right now, because of this market drop, we're not going to find a lot of stocks in that search. So that's okay. We still got heavy volume, good option liquidity. We'll take ADX off. Let's see if we've got some stocks that have some relative strength in the last 5 minutes, in the last 15 minutes, maybe even the last 30 minutes. So I'm sorry, we'll click this up here and we'll run that scan. Yep, there's a few of them. Okay, well, let's take a look at them. Let's see what they're doing. AZUL. Okay, nothing too interesting for me there. And that's the process all day long. We just go through, we keep looking at this. This is kind of nice. I like this. You can see how the stock is trying to break through with the market pulling back. So what would you want to do in this instance? Maybe I'd like to see it through that price point right there. Okay, well, then click alert, double click on that high bar right there. There's my alert line. If it gets through that, then I'll know that I might have an opportunity. SAVE was another one that we were looking at. So it might be trying to get through this resistance level right here. All right, good. Let's drop an alert line there. TXT. Sometimes you're going to find stocks that instantly look like they are really, really good. And those you may want to take a trade on once the market support forms and not drop the alert line. So let's take a look at that TXT trade, see what that's doing. Similar type of price pattern. So wish I had something better to show you right now in this particular search, but that's what we do, that we go through. I'm looking for heavy volume, and what I can even do here is I can search for a volume spike right now. Show me a stock that's got a good volume spike in the last 15 minutes and has good option liquidity. These would be my picks. All right, well, let's see what's going on. Now, heavy volume, that doesn't necessarily mean bullish, could be bearish, and that's okay too. So we see relative strength right here in Adobe. I like it. We need to get through this resistance level right here. Now I can drop a alert line like that. It'll be downward sloping. Stock breaks through that downward sloping trend line. Might have an opportunity if the market is looking to bounce in here. Going to take a look at these last two. Not too bad. I like that kind of moving higher. So the market right now is a little bit undecided here on what it needs to do. But this is how we conduct our searches. Very easy. You can create your own custom searches. You can go in. You can save your custom searches right here. You can name them if they're bullish or they're bearish. See, click save. Name it. Is it a bullish search? Is it a bearish search? Once you name it, once you identify that, you can describe it so you know the criteria that you used. And the beauty of it, QDEL just breached below a trend line, okay? Then it'll be in my searches. So if I click there, you can see the searches that I have that I've created so I can very quickly access them. And you can do the same thing. So those would be your favorite searches. So let's take a look at what the market's doing in here. So this looks like we're going to see a continuation right here. Remember, I told you can't get long until this downward sloping trend line has been breached to the upside. Until then, we have to assume that it's going to remain intact and that we may come down and test this support level again. So you don't want to be buying ahead of that happening. And as we continue to drift lower, this 1OP indicator is going to continue to come down and come down. I would prefer to buy off of a deep trough and a cross, not when it's just here at the zero line. And what that might coincide with is another test of this support level right here. But I would not be buying until I make doggone sure that that support level is intact. So it's expiration Friday. We may have another little twist to today's action. And here's what I'll be also looking for. We could have a nice long wedge formation where this continues to come in and come in. Right now we are 3 hours before the close. So let's say that for another 2 hours, this line extends downward and we keep bumping around on this major support level and we get a very deep 1OP cross down in here. Then what I'll be looking for is some possible option lottery trades. I'm going to be favoring the long side, and these are trades that we do in the last 45 minutes of trading on expiration Friday. I'll be looking for stocks with fantastic relative strength that have the potential to go in the money. So I'll be looking for strikes that are slightly out of the money. I want to buy options that are trading for pennies, and I want the potential to be able to sell them for 30, 40, 50 cents. We look for these trades every Friday afternoon. Option implied volatilities might be a little bit high right now after the massive sell-off yesterday. That could be working against us, plus bid-ask spread might be a little bit wide after that big decline yesterday as well. But it's been a couple months since we've been able to do these. I did one of those trades on Friday. I made 100% on an Apple trade, and that's why I posted that video Sunday night highlighting Apple, because it looked like it was going to take off. Saw the relative strength. Man, was that a great trade. Monday and Tuesday. Look at my comments. Look at that video. You can see I had people making 200 and 300% on those Apple calls. So really nice early part to the week on Apple. But in that video that I posted Sunday night, I also said trade small size, take profits quickly. This is a low probability trading environment, and I see a market drop coming. So lots of information I threw at you today. Had the early morning video. Oh, geez, I forgot to even take a look at that. Netflix. So Netflix I like, and we were able to get that spread done. We sold the bullish put spread. We're using that June 26th expiration date, and we were selling the 400 puts and we were buying the 395 puts, and we were doing that for a $1 credit. I don't like the fact that this stock has not been able to bounce today. You can see it's been drifting lower even though the market bounced. Netflix did not, but I'm not overly concerned with it. Well, why not? Because I feel this is a flight to safety type of stock right now. And you can see that Netflix has done a whole lot of nothing in the course of the last 3 months, and that's fine. I want it to do a whole lot of nothing. But you can see this beautiful resistance here that was breached to the upside, and now that becomes support, and it coincides with a rising 100-day moving average that should come into play in a few days around that $400 level. That's why I like this trade. If coronavirus starts to worsen again, people are going to stay home. They're going to watch Netflix. Their subscriber base is very, very strong. I think this stock is going to hold up well, even if the market declines. We saw a huge market drop yesterday. Look what the stock did. Barely even budged. So it's kind of got a mind of its own, and I don't feel that it's going to sell off dramatically, even if the market falls below SPY 300, even if it goes down to SPY 295. This is a trade that spans 2 weeks, so we get through the weekend, probability of success increases even more. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up. As I mentioned to you earlier, you might not subscribe to any YouTube channel, but this is one that you'll want to subscribe to, and turn on your notifications so that when these videos come out, you know instantly. I'll always have a good trade in there for you. I think if you buy INO today, wait for that market support down on that 300 level, and I think this stock is going to perform well. I think you'll be able to make some decent money. You buy a $13 stock, buy 1,000 shares at 13, sell it at 13.20. You got a couple of $100 to help fund your weekend fun. Thanks so much. Have a good weekend. I may post a video Sunday night. It may have a trade in it. So we'll see. If not, I'll see you Monday morning. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers, and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.